The exclusivity period is a defined legal window. Every hour spent in diligence is a search for flaws in a seller's claims before the acquisition becomes a permanent commitment. This chart highlights that 21.3% of letters of intent fail during the quality of earnings phase, typically because the seller's reported add-backs do not survive an audit. Surviving this phase often gives buyers a false sense of security. They assume that because the numbers have been vetted, the primary risks to the investment have been eliminated. But validating the historical EBITDA only proves the math was correct. It provides absolutely no information on the daily workflow or the quality of the systems producing those numbers. To understand the risk, you have to look past the clean reports in the data room and see the undocumented environment of the typical small business. This data shows that 29% of acquired small businesses have zero CRM system. There is no historical record of why customers buy. Simultaneously, only 38% see their cash position in real time. Most operate on delayed bank balances instead of actual financial reporting. Closing this information gap requires viewing diligence not as a single checklist, but as 3 distinct analytical translations that must happen in sequence. Neglecting the final translation is a primary driver of post-acquisition failure, contributing to 27% of all M&A integration collapses. Translation 1 moves from the seller story to the financial truth. This is the standard territory of accountants and quality of earnings reports. The goal is to normalize the EBITDA, validate working capital, and ensure that the cash basis books match the reality of the bank statements. Translation 2 moves from that financial truth to the operating reality. This is where you discover how the business actually functions when the owner isn't looking. In this stage, the sophisticated dispatch system in the pitch deck often turns out to be a messy whiteboard or disorganized text thread. This legacy debt is why 51% of dealmakers now identify technology diligence as the most time-consuming and expensive part of the entire review process. It is possible for a company to have a perfectly accurate financial audit, while its daily operations are held together by little more than the founder's personal habits. There is a specific gap that opens up the moment the purchase is finalized, but before the new owner begins managing the team. This requires Translation 3, moving from the operating reality to day 1 operator intelligence. This process takes undocumented knowledge trapped in the seller's head and converts it into a structured map a new owner can follow. Because of pressure to close, almost no acquirer completes this mapping before the funds are wired. The primary blind spot in diligence is the failure to recognize that this third translation is a distinct and necessary requirement for a successful handover. When the founder leaves the building for the final time, the business loses the only person who holds its undocumented systems together. As this timeline of integration failure shows, friction starts immediately. By week 2, customer follow-ups fail without the seller's memory. By month 1, margin compression becomes visible. By month 3, reactive management frustrates key employees looking for structure elsewhere. Skipping the third translation forces the new owner to spend their first 100 days responding to daily surprises rather than executing a strategic growth plan. A buyer who has mapped all 3 translations before closing steps into the business with a clear view of how every daily process actually functions. In every deal, the financial truth is secured in a data room, while the operating reality is locked in the mind of the departing founder. Completing the third translation before the sale is finalized is the only way to accelerate the transition from a new owner to a confident operator. Mapping these undocumented habits and turning them into durable systems is the fundamental requirement for turning an